Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Jordan and welcome to my YouTube channel. What's tea? What's going on in your world, girl? Like, we literally have not sat here and talked in so long. Like, I think the last time that we really sat here and talked was the Beyonce video, which if you haven't gone seen that, I did go to Cowboy Carter both DC nights and I recorded a little vlog on it. You should definitely go watch it. A time was had. In this video, I want to talk about another trip that I went on earlier this year that was a little bit different of a time, but a time was still had. A couple of months ago, I posted a more cinematic version of what a trip to Miami looked like, which, by the way, you should definitely go watch that too. I think that's like one of my favorite videos that I have so far on my page, which says a lot, but also not enough because like I don't have a ton of videos on my page. But yeah, so I took a more cinematic approach to my Miami trip, and that's because that trip was less of a bus, club, another club, plane, no sleep. That wasn't the vibe. Earlier this year, me and my boyfriend had a lot going on. We needed a break earlier on in the year, so we decided to take a more relaxed Miami trip. We've been to Miami together 3 times now, 4. I think that this last trip that I went on was the best Miami trip so far. I know that we're in like the middle of the summer right now, or if you're anything like me and watch these videos late, it's probably the end of the summer. But I just wanted to share my Miami itinerary for the girls who want a more relaxed, calm, restorative type of Miami vibe rather than just the partying. I did that too, but this trip was a lot more relaxed, a lot more cozy, a lot more I need to sit and reflect and think about the things that are going on in my life. I have my laptop here with all my notes because I have the memory of a squirrel, and if I didn't have everything written down on what I did, I probably wouldn't be able to make this video. So here we go. So a little bit of background about my history with Miami. I've been there a couple of times, I think 3 or 4 times now. And every single time that I've gotten to Miami, I feel like I've gotten better at what to do, places to go, hotels to stay at, cars to get, like all the things. My first Miami trip went completely wrong because I was a newbie when it came to traveling and being able to plan, and just had a whole bunch of things packed into my itinerary, not really giving myself a chance to like really rest and relax. It ended up being a hell of a trip. The hotel situation was a mess. We ended up staying in Fort Lauderdale instead of Miami, so it was like a 30-minute to an hour drive each way every time we wanted to do something in Miami. I had booked things wrong. I had put too many things into a day. Like,
this is the 3rd time that I've cried on this trip. It's just not been great. Like, I kind of want to go home.
Girl, it was just a lot. I feel like I really got to perfect my itinerary and be able to balance, you know, the partying, the going up, the turning out, the shot. Also being able to really rest and relax and just lay out on the beach and be just the cozy girl that I know I am. At the core of myself, I'm an introvert, okay? I don't necessarily love all the partying all the time. I like to be one with the water, one with the beach. I am a Cancer. If you didn't know, you would know that if you watch Beyonce though. So that is really what we decided to center our entire trip around, is being closer to the water, closer to the beach. So I really wanted to land in the Miami International Airport, but what ended up happening, which usually is always happening, is we ended up landing in Fort Lauderdale Airport. It's a much cheaper flight, especially coming from places like Virginia, maybe even DC, maybe New York, wherever you're coming from. And then also, if you're trying to rent a car, I find like the most at ease that I've been at renting a car and getting it dropped off and delivered to the airport was at Fort Lauderdale. We landed in Fort Lauderdale and we got a lift to Miami. What I actually highly recommend doing is getting settled into your hotel, eating something cute, and then going to lay down. And I mean that, like, we were up at like 5, 6 a.m. trying to make sure that we had everything packed and making sure that we got to the airport in time. And honestly, like, doing that and starting the day off so early can be so exhausting. I like to make sure that my first day is very calm and relaxed. So I have a couple of different recommendations for hotels in Miami, but the one that I highly recommend is staying at the Grayson in downtown Miami. If you are looking for luxury, if you're looking for opulence, if you're looking for a feeling of being elite, feeling like you really got your life together, you stay at the Grayson, okay? It's in such a good location. It's about a 15-20 minute drive from everything that you want to go to. Design District, South Beach, the actual beach. Like, it's really close to everything that you want to be, but it also gives you like the city vibes that you want. It's down the street from the Casilla Center, and if you know anything about going to concerts, going to basketball games, going to anything like that, staying somewhere that's close to whatever centers that you're going to is like the key to success. You don't have to worry about any traffic. You don't have to worry about your lifts canceling on you or anything like that. You can just go outside and walk back to your hotel and be done. It's like a maybe 10-minute walk from the Casilla Center. The Grayson is such a beautiful hotel, not to mention the views when you're actually up there. Pause. Let's just talk about the room.
Make sure you do it on 24
I am. Y'all, we just walked into our hotel room. This shit is in fucking insane. This is literally like an apartment for the week. So after you see the mirror, you see your lovely construction of Miami. And then you walk this way, this is the bathroom, the whole bathroom. I think this is a shower. It is a beautiful shower. Bathtub. Hey y'all. And then you get a walk-in freaking, a walk-in closet. Like, not no little piece of wall. That's like a walk-in closet. All of our luggage fits in the corner. Like, what are you talking? I can fit in here. Okay, and then you walk out and this is the bedroom. It's so nice. And then, Jesus Christ, you have the whole, all of Miami like in front of you. That's the Frost Museum. That's the Casilla Center. Bro, like, tell me this isn't insane. As you can see, I wasn't lying. That room was tea. Y'all saw that walk-in closet? Favorite hotel that I've stayed in Miami by far. I would go there a million times over. So I mentioned earlier that when we were at the airport, we got a lift to the hotel, but we didn't spend a lot of time lifting in the city. We actually use this app called Turo, which is a car rental app service that allows you to not only just get a car rental in general, but like a nice luxurious car rental. In the past, we've gotten things like Teslas, we've gotten a BMW ones in LA. For this trip, you know, he wanted to step it up a notch and he got us a little 911 Porsche. She was beautiful. Like, that car alone made me want to get my money up so I can get myself a Porsche. And the good thing about this app is that you can actually get your car delivered to wherever you're going to be at. So instead of having to wait for it to be delivered to the airport, we actually got to lift to our hotel and then the car was delivered to the hotel. It actually was there by the time we got to the hotel. So we actually just were able to exchange the keys with the owner and be about our way. And also they will pick up from that same place. So instead of having to drive all the way back to Fort Lauderdale to get back the car, he was outside when we were checking out from the hotel, ready to take the keys and be on our way. I highly recommend Turo. We've been using it ever since we started traveling and we have no regrets, except that young driver's fee. But if you're under 25, just beware of that. That fee is hefty. So that was the arrival part. The reset of the day happened after we got out of the hotel. Again, I highly recommend that you take things slow on the first day of travel, no matter where you go. Our plan for the day was we went to Sadelle's. We had a little brunch, lunch, supper. If you've never been to Sadelle's before, please go. There are several locations all around the country. The Sadelle's location that we went to in Miami was the Coconut Grove one, which was really good. We've also been to the one that was in New York in the like design district as well. When you go to Sadelle's, the one thing that they're famous for is their French toast, and they're famous for it for a reason. It's so freaking good. I also got this little matcha margarita because if you're familiar with any of my TikToks, I was on a matcha kick for the beginning of the year. In hindsight, I might try to go somewhere else because I've been to Sadelle's before in New York, so I kind of knew what to expect. And when you're traveling to new places, something that me and my boyfriend really try to do is discover new places. That might have been something that I would have changed, but if you're going for like really nice, cozy, chic environment for you to get a good piece of French toast, go to Sadelle. And then after that, we went back to the hotel and we sat the down. I've had instances in the past where I've tried to pack so much into the first day that by the time I get to the second day, I'm exhausted and I don't even get out of bed until like 12 or 1 o'clock. So me and my boyfriend were really focused on getting our minds right, getting a solid plan on what we wanted this trip to be, making sure that we unpacked because the hotel room was basically an apartment. You think I'm gonna just keep my clothes in a suitcase? We just took the time to do that. And I will be doing that more often when I travel instead of trying to do everything in the first day. So day 2 was our do a lot but like not too much day. We had a concert to go to in the evening, so we had to make sure that whatever we did during the day didn't take too much of our time, didn't exhaust us too much, so that we can come back and go to this concert. My boyfriend is really into fashion. He loves to shop. He loves to get expensive things. He loves to get vintage things. He loves to really push the limits with his wardrobe and mine. He be dressing me, okay? Something that we really wanted to do on this trip was like go on a little shopping spree. Now we went to 2 places. The first place was this thrift shop called Miami Twice. We had heard about it went online because they have a lot of like vintage bags. I'm talking like vintage Louis bags, Coach bags, Dior bags, like at a fairly reasonable price. That's the place that you go if you're looking for vintage clothes. They have fur coats, they have vintage jeans. Like it really was a really cool thrifting experience. I did end up getting a couple of things. So I ended up getting like these shorts that I wore in my Cowboy Carter video. And that was really all that we got out of there. So after we went to Miami twice, we went over to the Design District. When we were there, we stopped to get something to eat. We went to this place called Pura Vida, and I really wish that we had one in Virginia. It was like the perfect place to go when like you want to eat something healthy, but like you don't want to make something to eat at home. So Pura Vida solved that problem for me of being able to still eat healthy and like live within my goals without going super overboard. And it was actually really good. Like I really wish there was a Pura Vida here. I would probably be there all the time. If you're gonna go, I recommend getting their chicken Caesar wrap. I forgot what smoothie I got. It was a green smoothie and it was okay. I drank it because I needed some greens. But they have like breakfast bowls. I think they have acai bowls. They have a whole bunch of different things that you can eat. A little bit of everything for everybody. So when we were in the Design District, we just kind of did a lot of meandering around. The Louis building that they have there is beautiful. We went to the Flight Club. Like I really enjoy going to Flight Club. Me and my boyfriend have our sneakerheads. In fact, my boyfriend turned me into a sneakerhead. So when we knew there was a Flight Club there, we were like, obviously we need to go there. It was cool. It was a good selection. They didn't really have any of the shoes that I wanted to get, but I'm not complaining. I still had a really good time like walking through there, talking to the store clerk. We were talking about the concert that we were going to. In the same breath of Flight Club, we did go to Kith, which was also really nice. I did end up getting a pair of shoes there. If you're into like quality streetwear and just other like types of fashion that like fall with that you can wear outside of streetwear but like is mostly centered in streetwear, Kith is the place to go. Just make sure that your pockets are right. Nice stuff, but very expensive. And they also have an ice cream shop. Now, one thing that I really did enjoy about going to the Design District was going to Big Face. Big Face is Jimmy Butler's like coffee shop. If you don't know anything about sports, if you don't know anything about basketball players, let me flex a little bit of my basketball knowledge. Jimmy Butler was a former player on the Miami Heat. He is also a coffee connoisseur. He likes to make a lot of coffees at home and learn about how to make espressos, lattes, things like that. His love for coffee really inspired him to open up these coffee shops in Miami, New York, I think in LA too, called Big Face. The reason I want to go to Big Face is because I heard they had really good matcha lattes, and again, I've been on a matcha kick, so obviously I need my fix. Get the strawberry matcha they have. It's so good. I was trying to figure out what type of matcha they use, and when I find out, I will be getting it because it was really good. So that was the majority of our day too. The rest of the night, we went to go see Tyler, the Creator. That is the reason why we went to Miami in the first place. Let me back up. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. Back in like 2022, when he was on his Call Me If You Get Lost tour, me and my boyfriend were going to go see him for the first time ever. We were going to Norfolk to go see him. Tell me why my boyfriend, he's on FaceTime because we're at long distance at that point. My boyfriend is like, oh, hell no. I'm like, what? He sends me a screenshot of a tweet basically saying that Tyler canceled the Norfolk show the night before. Like I was actively packing my bags. I was pissed at Tyler for so long. I realized in the long run, it had nothing to do with Tyler and had everything to do with Norfolk. It's a mess down there. They just couldn't get their stadium together in time. I was so hurt for years. So when he went on the Cornucopia World Tour, I immediately was like, we need to get tickets and we don't need to go anywhere near Norfolk. So we decided to go to Miami, which again worked out because the hotel that we were staying at was right down the street from the Casilla Center. So we would just walk there and walk back. He performed so many different songs that I didn't even think he would want to perform. He performed He performed Tamale. Like younger me was like, yo, like what the heck? Hearing Earthquake in person, oh my god. Sexy Red came out. They started throwing a little ass on stage. I was like, hey, get it sticky. Hey. If you've made this far in the video, comment your top 2 favorite Tyler the Creator songs right now. Let's debate. If you know anything about me, again, if you're following me on TikTok or Instagram Reels, which you definitely should, then you know that I have grown to really love the game of tennis. Last year, I went to the US Open in New York, and this year, I was so lucky enough to go to the Miami Open as well. Now that I've been there, I want to go every single year. There were so many like different vendors there, so much free stuff. In the Miami Open, we were at the Hard Rock Stadium where we got to see Djokovic play, we got to see Sabalenka play, we got to even see Serena Williams there. These are tennis legends. Tennis is so so entertained. Djokovic, in the middle of the game, this is probably not new for people who like are into tennis, like this is just who he is, but like in the middle of the game, he like missed a point, like he just couldn't get to it in time, slammed his racket on the ground. He won in straight sets, didn't miss a single point. Serena didn't play, obviously, she's retired, but she was just there, which was like, oh, I cannot believe I'm in the same room as this legend. And then Sablenka, she's Sablenka, she's number one for a reason. She's a great player. Now, when we went to see Djokovic, we saw that during the day after it rained. If you're gonna go to the Miami Open, please make sure you check the weather. Please make sure you check the weather. Please make sure you check the weather. We got there and the sun was out and everything was glowing and orange and tinted, and then it rained. Well, that's nothing for you. And the whole stadium got closed down for, I want to say, like 3 hours. But it was worth it because when the sun came out, it really led to like a beautiful rest of the evening there. Even if you're not that big into tennis, like the atmosphere is really great and it's a good break from the typical like tourist stuff that you do. After I left, I was like, I cannot wait to go play some tennis. Day 4 is probably my favorite day because it was very beachy and I was like completely blissed out the entire day. Day 4, we decided to go to Key Biscayne. If you've been to Miami before but have not gone to Key Biscayne, I highly recommend going. Like that is the best beachy place to go in Miami that I've discovered this far. I highly recommend that when you go to Key Biscayne, you find somewhere to park your car and you rent a golf cart and you drive around the island. You can drive around the entirety of Key Biscayne on a golf cart. Go to KB Green Golf Cart Rentals, get you a golf cart. They rent them out for a day to a couple of days. So if you just happen to be staying in Key Biscayne, you can rent the golf carts for a number of days. The first place that we go to is this place called Flower and Weirdough. If you're looking for a good coffee and some good pastries, that's a great place to go. And it's right across the street from the golf cart rental place. So like if you didn't even feel like driving your golf cart there, you could just walk. If you are looking for something a little bit heavier when it comes to the pastry side, I don't know how to say this name. I'm gonna just put it on the screen. Get their Nutella latte and get either a regular croissant, a chocolate croissant, or I think they have a Nutella croissant. If you're going to Key Biscayne and you want to go to the beach, go to Lighthouse Beach. When you get there, you're able to actually rent out beach chairs and a beach umbrella for like I think $30-$40 for like the whole day. What we did is we walked onto the beach. We found this guy, he had like an RV. He told us to go back to the restaurant, get a ticket. So he paid for the chairs, got a ticket, and went back down. He gave us like these beach chairs that were right in front of the water because there's plenty of beach chairs. I mean, it's a long stretch of beach, so you can go for as long as you want. We just literally laid out for the entire day. So after we spent our day at the beach, we went to go to this place called The Hog. It's a little like corner store, pastry shop, deli spot that's like in the same area as the golf cart rental place. I would get their Cuban. The Cuban is so good and it's so filling. If like that's all you want to do, you could eat that and be full. It's really good. They're really quick and everybody in there is really nice. And then after that, we decided we wanted to go to the Cleat to kind of like see more of the views of the beach. The Cleat is this beachside cocktail bar. Pass it on your way to Lighthouse Beach, like that road that you take down to get to the beach so that you can park. Instead of taking the street all the way down, it's like halfway down and then you take like a right. And then it's a little bit of a walk because it's like on the backside of this other restaurant that also has like boat docks and stuff. But once you get there, it's really nice. The views are really pretty. When we went, it was pretty crowded, so we had to kind of like hurry up and try to find a seat. And then when we got there, it was chill. We sat, we talked, we watched the sunset. Cocktails there were a 6 out of 10, but if you want to go there for the views, I definitely recommend going. And then after that, we returned our golf cart, got in our car, and we went back to our hotel. Now, this is the point of the trip where we were kind of contemplating whether we wanted to go out and party. We went back and forth about it on this trip. The reason why we decided not to go out is because in general, we wanted this just to be a more chill, relaxed trip. We just didn't feel like partying. And like, that's okay. I feel like there's this pressure to go out and party when you go into Miami because you have like all these nightclubs and places to go to, but that just wasn't our vibe this time. However, if you do want to go and party, I would recommend going to Live. When I went, boy, it was a time. I would recommend going if you are not like an EDM girly. I would recommend going on, I think it's Thursdays that they have like hip-hop/R&B night. Liv was recommended to us by one of my boyfriend's friends and we had so much fun. We sent him videos thanking him for the recommendation, bro. Bitch, if you can hear my voice, I have the time of my fucking life in that goddamn club. I'm missing 2 nails. Oh my god, we gotta get you to Miami, bitch. Like, this shit is crazy. But yeah, so this trip we decided to opt out of going out and instead we just took a really nice night drive. Something else that I really appreciated about going on a trip with my boyfriend is we were spending intentional time together. I think this itinerary is a great one for if you're going for like a couples trip because because it really requires you to spend intentional time together, talking to each other, being in each other's space, listening to each other's silence, and just really being at peace with one another. That night drive, even though I was exhausted, my boyfriend wanted to drive everywhere, but I was exhausted.
Sales and streams, none of that shit entails dreams. Rap, press, feeling like I'm less betting.
But still, I had such a fun time, like being able to look up at the city. We even drove past Liv to see what we were missing. It was dead. So the last day in Miami was another like really chill, kind of romantic way to end our couples trip. We did a couple of things. The first thing that we did was we went to Joya Beach. It was really nice. Joya Beach isn't necessarily like a beach, but more of like a manufactured beach. I'd say it's more like they put white sand next to a lake, but it was still really nice. Like it was really, really nice. When you walk there, the energy is so like calming and relaxing. It's a little bit turned. We went there in the middle of the day, so people weren't like turning up. When we went there, it was just so chill, and it really gave like, I just was back on Key Biscayne. I was back on Lighthouse Beach. I relaxed. I laid out, I listened to the music, and I ate the food, and I drank my little drink, and that was it. If you are not trying to chill, maybe go to Joya Beach when it's later. But if you are trying to chill and just literally lay out, girl, go to Joya Beach Club. It's wonderful. Service, amazing. Music, amazing. Food, get the truffle fries and get their signature drink and just vibe, twin. Just vibe, twin. Like, it's so nice. After that, we went to Catch Miami during their like sunset hour. Drinks, fire. The shishito pepper appetizers that we had, fire. The crispy like tuna rice cakes that they had, fire. Oh my god, I would go there and just eat those things. The ambiance there was so pretty. It was on the strip right at the end of it, so we got to see the sunset, we got to see a little bit of the beach. The vibes were really nice, really classy, really cute. That's one of the places that you go when you want to dress up. I would definitely go for their sunset happy hour, get some drinks, get some appetizers. Funny thing is, on our way out, my boyfriend was like paying the bill, and like I had gotten up and he had gotten up. We were gonna go to like the bathroom really quick before we were going off to our next destination. I see like these two familiar faces, and so we're walking past, and I do a double take, and I'm like, is that Demetrius Harmon? What the fuck? Like, that was my first celebrity sighting in Miami. I didn't say anything because, like, number one, I'm anxious. Number two, I don't really love the idea of running up on celebrities, influencers, and things like that. Like, they live in their life just like I'm living my life. I just left them alone, but we were in the car like, bruh, Demetrius Harmon was in the same place that we just ate dinner. We were watching you on Vine. That's crazy. So to end our trip in Miami, we decided that we wanted to go up with a bang. So I got on a yacht and I started shaking that. No, I'm kidding. No. To go with the theme of this being a more chill, intentional trip, me and my boyfriend decided we wanted to take a boat ride through the city of Miami. I think it was like maybe like $500 or $600 to do it. When we got there, we got like complimentary champagne, we got complimentary water. My boyfriend was on aux, so we legit just laid out on this boat, listened to our music that we usually do, and just got to see the sights. It was a really nice way to finish off the trip. Me and my boyfriend sat and we talked about what our favorite parts were about the trip, what we liked, what we didn't like, what we would do again, how much we loved Miami, how much we loved being with each other. I'm so glad that I got to spend that intentional time with my boyfriend. I really appreciated the views. I appreciated the vibes. I would maybe have tried to get on the front of the boat before we started moving, because once we started moving, we had to like walk on this like very thin walkway. I wasn't doing that, and neither was my boyfriend. So we sat on the back of the boat and just watched the city go by. It was a great trip. Partying aside, like, it was really a restorative trip. Perfect way to sit there and reflect. Would I do it again? Yes, 100% every time. If you want to know how I go about planning and budgeting trips, like down to the details before we even get there, I'll be happy to make another video about that, because I know planning and budgeting can be a little bit hard for these trips. So the last day, we really didn't do much. We packed everything up, went through the closet, made sure we had everything. We hit the design district one more time because there was something that my boyfriend didn't get that he wanted to get. We did that. We got our stuff, took a lift back to the airport after giving the keys back to the car guy, and we got on a flight and we got home. And then I was severely depressed for like a week, because what do you mean I have to come back to Virginia? This itinerary felt very balanced. It felt like we had the mornings to ourselves. We weren't rushing all over the place trying to get from one thing to another thing. And every day had its own like very unique vibe, and that's something that I really appreciated. Is no 2 days were the same. I think the itinerary that we had gave us a lot of variety. I had the best time. I wouldn't have changed a thing. I wouldn't have even stayed longer. It was the perfect, chill, restful, relaxing itinerary that I could have had. This is my Miami itinerary. If you're looking for a more chill, cozy vibe, let me know in the comments if you're planning your own trip soon, any places that you think or highly recommend you would go to travel. If you want a full complete breakdown of my itinerary and a complete breakdown of the budget, let me know. know, because I'm all about traveling luxuriously, but not like breaking the break to do it, because at the end of the day, I still got to go home and pay bills. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will be talking to you guys very soon. I promise.